Was proposed during the week by Damien Barrett on AFL Media and then again on the Sunday Footy Show this morning as to whether or not Matthew Lloyd would be a good coach of the Essendon Football Club. Here's what our very own Lloyd had to say.
Should you be part of the process if they ask you to be, as a coach?
No.
Why?
No, I don't have an interest, TJ, coaching at AFL.
Why was Damo pumping up his
I appreciate that. Damo thinks that I'd be worthy of that, which I appreciate his opinion. Yeah, but no, like
if they offered you a senior assistant role to a James Herder or Dean Solomon?
No, I just love the balance I have in my life, Damo, and sort of going full 24/7. I just don't really want that at this stage.
And take a pay cut.
No.
No more cashies at Chemist Warehouse.
So there's Matthew Lloyd speaking on the Sunday Footy Show this morning. I want to get your view, though, gents, and Laura, on the panel that has been established at Essendon. The President, Andrew Welsh, the Vice President, Anthony DiPietro of Melbourne Victory fame, Ted Richards, who's Director and Chair of Football Governance, Tim Roberts, who's a Director and CEO, and then Caroline Monzon, who is the Executive General Manager of People and Culture at Essendon. It is all Essendon people. Is it concerning that all 5 people on the coaching selection panel have red and black lenses to look through?
It's different because I think if you look at most coaching panels over the journey, in my time, and I look back, there tends to always be someone who's not from your club who gives a different sort of perspective on things, I guess. Who have Carlton got on theirs? They've got Craig Davies, obviously.
Just came in.
Yeah, Davies and Graham Wright.
They both
but they're
new.
Internally Carlton.
No, they're all Carlton.
Yeah.
But
Adam Simpson, who's already at Carlton.
But he was already at Carlton, yeah. So what they're saying that they've come in later.
Yeah, okay.
It's not like being an Essendon person all your life.
But I think most times there is generally someone from outside, so it is different for sure.
Yeah. I think to me, when I saw that, I thought there must be a lot of stuff going on inside that football club. And they've got people from all different departments, including, people and culture, in to decide who is the next best head coach. So to me, it sort of indicated that there's a lot of things that need to be improved. There's a lot of things that need to be streamlined. They are looking at it through the focus of what is best for our football club. We don't want anyone else who's not in our 4 walls to make this decision because there are so many things that we have to factor in here. There's a lot of problems there.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Teddy Richards has been out of the environment and gone to a successful environment, obviously, in Sydney and come back. So, I mean, he can give a pretty good perspective of what the Sydney Swans look like. And, in his time, Sydney's been an unbelievably successful, consistent footy club. So, I mean, he's going to have a lens to have seen what happened there.
I guess Anthony DiPietro, in the scheme of things, is a fresher voice.
Yeah.
He only joined the board last year, coming across.
How long's Teddy been on the board?
Melbourne Victory.
Couple of years.
Yeah,
does it just make you think? I just also immediately thought Essendon person. When I saw that it was a panel of Essendon people, I thought, are they going to want an Essendon person?
Ted's only just come on as well in November, Damo just said. So, I mean, he's been away, and as I said, he's been at a really good club. So it's not just totally an internal Essendon thing.
The talk does continue, though, to be that Dean Solomon and James Herder remain front runners. There was the article in The Age this morning by Jake Nile that Daniel Giansiracusa, who was an assistant coach formerly at the Bombers, he'll invest in the Carlton role, but not interested in the Essendon role. I find it concerning that there are some coaches who are assistants, even ex-coaches, Adam Simpson's mentioned it before, that, or it might have been Ken Hinkley, my apologies, but that aren't interested in the role at Essendon because of this overcurrent of James.
Well, it's a different type of challenge, isn't it? Because you're not going to come in and coach a team that is close to a premiership. And some people won't want to bother with that. It's a challenge that's bigger or different than other clubs. You may not be the coach that is still there to see the glory. This could be the job that's the coach until the next coach, which brings the glory. So it's the grunt work.
And Gia was obviously there for a number of years and gone away to Hawthorn. So that's interesting that he's made that choice, though, isn't it?
Did you hear Simon Goodwin on Thursday night on 3AW and what he said? Let's have a listen.
Look, I'm open to any conversation that comes my way. Clearly, it might be a recency bias that, I've just left the game and obviously some time out. So, I'm not in any rush to get back in. I'm here to learn and grow and be a part of a good footy club. And, if those opportunities arise and people want to be in contact, I'm sure I'll take their call.
So his name hasn't been raised in the conversation. That's part of the reasons why I asked him the question. Because he's just shifted jobs, I feel, and people are
sort of
a bit
gone off
wary
the
of
radar,
someone who's
hasn't it?
just... That's right, but he has aspirations to be a senior coach again.
But it's strange, isn't it? Because we hear
He was an assistant under James Hurd.
Yeah, he was.
at
But
Essendon.
we hear about Ken Hinkley, who's just out of it. John Longmire's been out of it a little bit longer. But no one's even mentioning Simon Goodwin.
I think it's
strange.
because, A,
he's
got
a premiership coach.
He's got a different job and he's moved cities, and B, the circumstances of his departure. When a coach is... Well, sacked is a pretty harsh word, but when those are the circumstances of the departure, it's sort of looked at a little bit differently, I think. Like, oh, no, we wouldn't touch someone like that straight away. But I don't... For me, you're right. He's a premiership coach.
I think we missed something there, though. Like, he's a premiership coach, and he said, I'm still learning and growing in this role that he's doing now. So it just shows you that,
You're always learning.
You're always learning, but how quickly do you want to jump back in?
Yeah.
And have you got the fire to do it at the time? See, coaching's a lot about timing, about on lists and whatever it is for each individual. And to me, the biggest problem, I think, is that Welshie, and this is what I'm hearing, I hope they're going, this process isn't just a process to do, because I cannot see if Welshie's saying Solomon is the coach, I cannot see how Solomon could even get it over James Hurd. Now, but
he's not saying that.
Well, he has. It has been said that that's his preference, and we hear things from him. All right,
but he hasn't said that.
No, I'm just saying we've heard the rumour that that's the preference
not
for
publicly.
him, if not publicly. Okay, and if that was the case, I would think James Hurd had more credits than what.
How?
Well, because
Solomon's
he's coached at the level.
been at the Gold Coast for 10 years.
But what about senior coaching?
No, but he's
filled in.
But he's been
interim.
He's been in the system a lot more than James Hurd has.
And his best mates with the president, who then had him on the board, who pushed him into the football department. He was on the board.
He only left the board because Gia left, though.
Oh, come on, Richo. Let's throw it up. Keep throwing it my way, and I'll keep throwing it back at you. And look, to me, I don't know, but I would say James Hurd would have more pull as a senior coach to bring everything together than Dean Simon. And no disrespect to Solly, rip a bloke, he might be able to do it. But then to have others, there'd be another 5 or 6 who you would think would have greater credibility than those 2. Who you would think might get the job if it was done the right way.
John Longmire goes for the job, then his CV just has to be the one.
But what happens if Solly gets it over John Longmire?
Well, I can't see how that would be possible. If you sit down and look at John Longmire against, and this is nothing against Solly, he's a great guy, and he's been a good assistant coach for a long time. He was a caretaker. I think he did a few games at the Suns as well. You can't possibly look at John Longmire versus any of the other guys and say that John's not the most qualified.
Let's just wait and see, Richo, because like I said, it's a horrible situation to be in, that this is what everybody is thinking about who might be the coach because of what's coming from within the club. And I don't get it. This process, if it goes one way, I think it's going to make them look like a basket case himself.
Does it not just say everything about football, though? The fact that Dean Solomon, yet to win a match as Essendon interim, is one of the favourites to get the role. Yet at Carlton, you have Josh Fraser undefeated through 6 games and has virtually been dismissed from getting the role as senior coach.
He hasn't.
He hasn't.
Oh, no, but, with Chris Davies saying...
he's still learning.
No, but only because Josh himself keeps saying that.
But I'm just saying that there is a fair juxtaposition that the bloke who's winning... Oh, no, we're not considering him. He's still learning. The bloke that's yet to record a win, oh, no, he's the front runner at Essendon.
I think, though, it's...
complete juxtaposition.
Yeah, but they're in different situations. Like, what Essendon needs to fix, the list that they have... The youngsters that they have, it's different to Carlton. That's why, like I said, they've got all these internal people who are doing the process, because I think there's a lot that this coach is going to have to take on and consume when he gets to the football club. It's not a project for a beginner.
No, and that is why I still think that the Carlton job, even ahead of Tasmania and Essendon, is the most lucrative out there at the moment. You look at what this Carlton list has to offer and what Josh Fraser has been able to extract from it in 6 games. If you're a senior coach, you look at that and go, look what I have to work with. Walsh, Cripps, Wiedering, McInnes hitting some form. You know what you've got to work with. Essendon's not appealing because there are so many young kids and inexperienced. You don't know what the list will...
But if it's not appealing, you're not the right person for the job.
But at Tasmania, you ultimately don't know what the list will look like. For me, if you're a senior coach, I would be putting all my effort into Carlton as well.
Oh, yeah, they're one of. But look, Josh Fraser's whole thing might have changed. Like, he said that he wasn't ready. But now if he gets to 10 weeks in and he wins 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10, right,
yep.
he might be thinking, gee, I didn't think I was, but now I am, and I understand I've got this faith that I probably can do this now. So you can change that around. That's not an issue. That's what they got to decide as a club which direction they want to take.
I'm just saying,
to me, the Chris Davis thing, that it sort of sounded he didn't feel like Josh was ready either. And if that's a football person coming out and saying that the football manager...
I just think they're playing a bit of ducks and drakes, to be honest, with that.
Well, both of them?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Gee whiz.
I just think out of the 3 roles available for next year, Essendon, Carlton and Tasmania, to me, Carlton is the most
Carlton haven't won a flag for, 31 years this year. Powerful club. We know that. We know the big supporter base, passionate. If you're the guy that brings Carlton back to glory...
And there's talent there to work with.
Yeah, there is. And the young guys that they've brought in, Ison's playing really well. Byrne, 4 goals.
Who's had the greatest development background of all those candidates? Because the development background of bringing a side through and getting it done is going to be so important at Tassie.
Josh has coached his own team at Preston.
Yeah, no, I know that. But it's VFA.
But that was a bit like Craig McRae. Everyone goes, he's a first-time coach. But Craig McRae had coached a VFL Premiership team.
But Craig's just saying Essendon is Carlton's the side you want. I don't agree.
I think it depends on the type of the person.
The first bloke who gets the Tassie job, I'm thinking he has to be signed up for probably 4 years, at least 4 years, and maybe 5.
Yeah.
So that gives you a great run in to be a coach and
you're going to get 5 years.
But if you don't like the challenge of what you've got to work with at Essendon, then you don't get that job, and you're not the right person for the job. So John Longmire, for example, he may not want.
Has he actually put his hand up, John Longmire?
No,
Has he said, I want to coach
They
next
haven't
year?
talked to him about
that. The only person I've said that wants to senior coach
is James Hurd.
But this is
James
why...
Kelly's probably the other
James
one.
Kelly.
Who said he'll take one, but I haven't heard anyone else go, I want to coach
Solomon wants to be a senior coach.
Yes.
He hasn't knocked it back, saying he
hasn't blatantly put his hand up for this role.
No, he put his hand up. Oh, he has. Yeah, okay.
He said he's not thinking about it, but you'd have to be thinking about it.
Let's get past that sort of stuff.
That's the Josh Fraser argument as well.
Well, we're not
get past that.
We're not listening to Chris Davis and Josh Fraser. We don't believe him.
I just think Carlton are being very shrewd about their language around all of this with Josh Fraser and what's happening.